Welcome to another edition of This Old Crack House. I'm your host, Angry Cops, AC for short, and I'm bending over right now because that's exactly what my old contractor did to me when he took out two walls and tried to put up some bullshit supports on the first and second floor. Oh, that bent me right over, just like this. And we're gonna go over that today. Join me, won't you? I know, it's been a while. Like 3-4 months since the last time I gave you an update and Angry Pops was there. Apparently my father's a huge hit. You all realize where I get my sarcastic, dickish ways. Our banter apparently is hysterical. These are your words, not mine. But since it's been a while, I'm going to refresh your memory on... What am I going to refresh your memory on? How shitty this fucking place is? How much money it's costing me? What am I replacing? What am I refreshing them on? Come on, dick. You're going to refresh them on how shitty this fucking support is. That's what you're going to do. All right. So let me refresh your memory on a large issue with the supports that got put in after taking out a wall. Having talked to my previous contractor, he informed me that a 4-inch beam, I-beam, was going to be enough for a 14-foot section of wall that we had removed, and we're going to put this in order to open up the kitchen. Here I am standing in the kitchen. Over here is going to be the dining room. Put up this weird bracket up here, and then kind of secured a 2x4 to the chimney while putting a temporary basement support beam in, maxing it out to the tallest length it could possibly go, here and up here. Now, it wasn't ready for the weight, so I don't know if you can tell, but that screwed part right up here is bent because, well, there's too much fucking weight on there. And to top that off, it wasn't tall enough. So he put a cut-off piece of 2x4 on the bottom, once again without securing it. Oh, how is this secured? Just wait. It's not screwed down to anything. And it isn't up here either. Look at that. It's just gonna sit on. Oh, I've got some copper little fucking... What do we use there? You just fucking use that to hold up pipes? Like, just to suspend pipes and shit? That's holding it to the fucking wall? Then like 3 screws are holding it to the chimney? Not exactly the best work. And then, a little bit more of the same over here. The top's not secured to anything. It's just kind of sitting on top of the stanchion. At least it's centered. And just screwed into the wall and not put down into the ground. Another piece of 2x4 cut off. And this is not sitting on the main support beam for the home. So the main support beam runs right alongside of the chimney from one end of the house to the other. And what you want is you want your supports going directly from the load all the way down onto that beam, which is supporting the house. That way you don't have to worry about your floor caving in. Unfortunately, my ex-contractor put these down on the ground off center of the main support beam. So it's actually running here. It's on this side instead of directly underneath this post. Well, what happened after that, AC? Let me tell you. The old man showed up, talked to my ex-contractor, and we had an engineer draw up some actual plans for the property, what needed to go in for the supports to be a proper support. By the way, this red one wasn't here. This is what you actually use if you're going to box it in. We had to go out and grab it because we noticed that the supports up here were bending from all the stress. So, oh, and wouldn't you know, once the engineer came here, she said, hey, listen, that beam isn't rated for that amount of weight. It's not, if you put this beam right here, yes, but I don't want to do that. I want to have the whole thing open. I got rid of my old contractor. That's right, I fired him. He's done. He's not coming back. This was egregious. He tried to tell me that it was okay. It's like, oh, that's fine. So long story short, the supports that my ex-contractor put in are not up to snuff. They were put in incorrectly. Everybody that's been a general contractor that I've talked to that are friends of mine were like, what the fuck was he thinking? What were the dudes that were putting it in thinking? Anyway, he's gone. I've got drawings for the house for the supports that are supposed to go in. I'm gonna talk through them with you, and I'm gonna show you that one of them is done. So, a lot of long-windedness. Let's go look at how it's supposed to be, and then I'll talk to you more about the first floor. Starting with the second floor, going down to the first, and then the basement of what's supposed to happen. So now let's look at what it's supposed to be compared to the I-beams. We've got 3, what are these, 2x6s? I think they're 2x6s if I'm not mistaken. 3 of them, all right, all glued and connected to one another, going into the wall, the support going all the way down here to the floor, and then I don't know if you can see down there, we'll probably look down there, get over here a little bit. And then all the way down to that main support that runs from the front to the end of the house, like I talked about a little bit earlier. We then have it running all the way across the new master bedroom to this massive block. What the fuck? Focus, camera. So now that we've seen the support go all the way down to the basement, it runs across the master bedroom, over the door, and now we have a massive amount of 2x4s holding this bad boy up. Look at that. Look at that. There's 3 of them holding it up, and then like 3 more behind it. That's secure. Okay, that's secure. And it goes all the way down. Now it's gonna be a little messed up because the light's coming from the outside in. But we've got the second floor coming all the way down. We got, you know, the 3 2x4s that are put together just like the first floor, coming all the way down to the base of the first floor, going right into that support that runs from the front to the back of the house. I know I've said it like 8 times already, front to the back of the house, but it's kind of important if you don't want one story falling in on another story. Ta-da! Once again, we're gonna have to build a temporary wall to hold up the second floor, remove the I-beam and the supports, and then, similar to the second floor, but a lot more beefy, is we're putting 2 of those, it looks like these are, I wish I had my tape measure so it wouldn't look like such a bumbling idiot, and I could actually tell you the size of these things instead of just making estimations. Although I'm pretty sure my estimation is correct. And I don't have a measuring tape, so, you know, up my butthole. And it's probably good if I would record it on my face so people could actually see me instead of talking to, you know, my double, triple chins. Instead of taking 3 of them and putting them together, we need a little bit more rigidity because it's going over a longer gap, I guess, is what you would say. So we're taking 2, I believe these are 2x8s or 2x6s. They're not going in alone. They're gonna be sandwiching a 3/4 inch steel plate, and there's gonna be, I forget what type of structural bolt in between them, but there's gonna have holes drilled in a triangle zigzag pattern, and it's gonna span this structure. So instead of having 3 2x8s, 2x10s, whatever those ones are upstairs, it's just gonna be 2, but with a 3/4 inch steel plate in between them to add structural integrity. Now, I'm not sure how my new contractor, who's very handsome, is going to put this new support up. I think he's gonna go on the outside of the fireplace because that's where the beam is. And I'm not sure if he's going to go inside the wall here or if he's going to stay on the outside and we're just going to, you know, box that in, which is fine. Now, if you remember, the basement, its main support splits off at a Y. And I'll show you that right now. Do that snap thing so it ends up at the same spot. Here we are in the basement. You'll notice that this is the new beam that was put in when the house was on stilts. Super beefy. It Y's off. We've got I think those are 2x8s. So we've got 3 2x8s that split off into a Y. I bring up the Y because there's a small issue with that support that was against and might be going into the wall on that first floor. We just snapped my fingers from. That issue is, instead of there being a basement wall directly below it, that you can just, right like here, fill it up with 2x4 so it's properly supported going right to the foundation, there's a gap. And right here is where that post is, that support post. Now, part of the drawings for the home, what would you call it, construction drawings? I'm not sure. Says it's okay. What they're gonna do is they're gonna run a beam from this side to this side and then have a number of 2x6s, etc., supporting that beam directly. This small bridge right here with enough wood support is not an issue when it comes to supporting the first floor. I know I said support like 15 times. Long story short, we're gonna bridge this gap, and that way the first floor support that's holding up that whole big area that we took the wall off of can bring weight all the way down and not have to worry about all that weight being on just like one beam. It's gonna be on big, hefty, fat boys, thick boys with 3 C's like this. It has been a while, and I believe the light bulb has died, so I'm going to have to move him from his original place. But it's about time we talk to Basement Jesus. I have to use my cell phone light, Basement Jesus, because the basement light died. Oh, like my hopes and dreams. Dear Basement Jesus. Judas! I have a Judas! I had a Judas. Well, you had a Judas too. Past tense. Because once he went against you, he offed himself. Well, I had to off my guy, not literally, figuratively, because my contractor decided he was going to charge me for something that wasn't legit, that I would then have to spend more money on to remove, and now I've got 2 massive 4-inch or 6-inch I-beams that I don't know what to do with. So I had a Judas in my company, and just like you, he screwed me over. Oh, he bent me over. But luckily, Basement Jesus, I had 12 other disciples. Well, I don't have 12 other friends that are helping me out with this, but, you know, maybe people. I got other people, much like you had 12 other people, that can help me out of this. We had to put up a wall and then take it down just so we could put up a wall and take another one down so we could put the right supports up that we put up and now have to take down so we can put up the right ones. And if you can follow that, Lord, you're with me. Lord, oh, God, Basement Jesus, please protect me from the rest of the Judi that are out there. That sounded mildly racist even though it was plural for Judas. Either way, Lord, please protect me from those that wish to just take my money and rake me over the coals. Oh, in your name I pray, amen. Hi there. Were you as surprised as I was to find out that my original contractor was doing such a horrible job that it almost caused the entire crack house to fall in on itself? I know I was, especially after spending a couple grand to try and have it done properly. Well, I'm just never going to get that shit back. Either way, not a great financial investment for going for the cheap guy instead of the guy that's a little bit more expensive but does it super right and won't just, let the building fall in on itself. But either way, if you would like to support my horrible decisions in contractors and Maybe you just get off on watching me go through some horrible pain that you might have gone through in a lesser amount or maybe even more on one of your own DIY fixer-upper shenanigan homes that you've worked on. Feel free to purchase a This Old Crackhouse t-shirt. I think it's pretty cool. I also got a Basement Jesus tee if you're into that. Basement Jesus, please bless this house. On that note, see you next time, weirdos.